I personally think from their perspective, from the older generation, because they have been so used to following what the government wants them to do. So now that the government say, hey, we have already repealed, then they have a lot of question mark that they feel like they need answer to. It makes it a lot easier for me now that it has come from the government, and it makes it a lot more easier for me to explain to them, oh, because such is such, so and so, love is love, you know?
Last year's Pink Dot was about repealing 377A, and at the end of the year that happened. So I feel like Pink Dot has always had a correct focus, but I think what more of like queer people in Singapore would really just be for everyone to be a lot more accepting, for everyone to be a little bit more open-minded.
If I'm being very honest, the repeal of 377A, it doesn't really change much because there were other legislation that were put in place to still prevent queer people from being able to live the same way that straight people do, that cisgender people do. So it's mostly a public perception thing, and I don't think it's really changed the public perception of drag queens in Singapore. Honestly, in Singapore, I don't feel like I'm in physical danger, but I never feel at ease. You will always get stares, you will always get people, whispering to each other, being like, hey, that one, and then saying slurs and stuff. And especially if you're like a drag queen who doesn't present very like high glamour, and if you present a bit more like scandalously, which is an art form still, people might catcall you, which I've gotten catcalled many times in drag.
So this year the theme is quite broad. We recognize that people will resonate with the theme in different ways. We don't see a need to be specific in any sort of policy area just yet. We recognize that post-repeal, people need a moment to breathe. And more importantly, we feel that change can only happen after conversations. That's a lesson that we learned from repeal. It took a long time before we were able to be very pointed with our messaging.